Welcome everyone! Every year on April 22nd, millions of people around the world all celebrate Earth Day. Earth Day was a day that people created to celebrate and show appreciation for the environment and for Mother Earth. So today's class is all about celebrating and honoring Earth Day. If possible, it would be wonderful if you're able to do this class outside, where you can be right on Mother Earth, but inside is just fine too. Today, we're going to start with something called Bu Mudra. So Bu is the Sanskrit word for earth, and Mudra is the Sanskrit word for gesture. So to make this gesture, we put our thumbs by our ring and pinky fingers, and then our pointer and middle fingers stay tall. So we have 2 fingers tall and 2 fingers touching our thumbs. And then we're going to point our tall fingers down to the earth. So right now, our whole bodies are like mountains. So we're visualizing that we are a mountain. So our spine is nice and tall and straight. We're reaching our head up to the sky, and our arms are the slopes of the mountains. And we'll close our eyes and feel ourselves being connected to the earth. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And then you can open your eyes, and we're going to stand up. And then we're going to take a big step forward or back. So our feet are spread wide, and then we're going to check that our front foot, that our toes are pointed really straight forward, and our back foot is pointed kind of this way on a diagonal. And then we're going to put our hands on our hip bones, so in the front of our hips, and we're going to turn them so they're facing forward. So like if our hands are like headlights on a car, we want them both to face forward right now. And then we're going to let our front knee bend so that our knee is right over our ankle. Now we're facing forward, and then we can bring our arms up. And you might even look up at the space between your hands. And this is our Warrior One pose. And today we're going to be warriors who care for and protect the earth. So I'm sure you can think of lots of ways that we can care for and protect the earth. Some of them might be picking up litter in parks or off the streets, or we could plant or care for trees and flowers. Okay, then we're going to put our arms down, and we're going to switch our feet. So we're going to jump and switch. And then once you've switched, check and make sure your front foot, your toes are pointed right in front of you. Your back foot is on this diagonal. Put your hands on your hip bones. You should feel like a bony part right here. And then turn so that both of your hips are facing forward again. Bend your front knee and keep your back leg nice and straight. And then lift your arms up straight and strong. So we're back on our Warrior One pose on the other side this time. And maybe you guys can think of other ways that we can protect the earth and help to take care of it. Because it gives us so many things, right? It gives us clean water and nutritious fruits and vegetables to eat, somewhere to put our homes. And then we will step our feet together. You can kind of shake it out. And we're going to remind ourselves of just a few of the many things that the earth shares with us. So the first thing is something that everything needs to live, and that is water. So we're going to bring our hands up real tall and maybe wiggle your fingers, and we're going to be like waterfalls. So we're going to rain our hands all the way down, like we're a big waterfall. Maybe sway and splash. And then we're going to reach up tall and do it again. So rain your hands down and be a waterfall. gonna do it one more time. So reach all the way up really tall, and we're gonna waterfall our hands down. Whoosh. And then from here, you can come forward onto your hands and knees. So we're here. I'm gonna take this off, and we're gonna stack our wrists right under our shoulders and our knees under our hips. And the earth gives us water to drink, and it also gives us many different things to nourish our bodies, and one of those things that lots of people use to nourish their bodies is cows. So we're going to be a cow. And thank all the cows for the milk and cheese and beef that they give us or our friends to eat. You might move a little bit in your cow. I don't know why cows like to look up at the sky, but I guess they do. We're going to look up at the sky. Moo. And then we're going to switch to another animal. And this one, some of you might remember it from a different class. This is called our cat pose. And some of you might even have this animal as a pet in your houses. So here's our cat pose. And we're looking kind of at our belly buttons in this pose. And then we're going to go back to our cow pose one more time. Maybe bend your elbows and look up, up, up to the sky. Moo. And then back to cat. Letting your head fall, tucking your tailbone under, and maybe meowing. Meow. Then coming back to a flat back. And another pet that some people have is a dog. So we're going to lift our hips up high and press our hips up. You might wag your tail a little bit, wag your doggy's tail. Maybe stick your tongue out and pant like you just went on a really big long walk. And then from our down dog, we're gonna shift forward. We're at the top of a push-up and then come all the way down to the earth so we're on our bellies. And then keep our hands planted on the earth. We're going to press into our palms and keep our elbows really close to our bodies. And press into our palms and lift our chest up. And sometimes this is called a cobra pose. But today we're going to be earthworms. So we're going to come down and we're going to inhale. And imagine what it would feel like to tunnel through the dirt and stick your head out of the grass and look around and hope that no robins spy you. And exhale down, and then we're going to push back, and you can leave your big toes together but spread your knees apart a little bit. And something that earthworms do is they help to make the soil very healthy. And something that needs really healthy soil are little baby seeds. So we're going to come back into our seedling pose. So our knees are a little bit wide, and we're going to hinge forward and let our bodies come all the way down to the earth. So our forehead might be touching the ground, and we're trying to leave our sits bones planted on our heels. And letting our foreheads rest on the earth, maybe feeling the grass or the carpet tickling your forehead. And taking a big deep breath here. But little seedlings want to grow. So then we'll slowly pull our hands back, turn our toes under, and slowly grow ourselves up and up, so tall until we come all the way up to a stand. And we're going to turn into majestic trees. So we're going to put one toe towards the earth, so point our toes, and then we're going to put our hands on our hip bones again, so the hard bone right here, and make sure that they stay facing forward, but we're going to turn our knee out to one side, so we don't want our whole hips to turn, just our knee. And then from there, we might stay right there, or if we want a little bit more balance, we might lift that foot to our calf, not right next to our knee because that can hurt our knees, but right on our calf or above our knee on our thigh. And then once you have your balance, you might use your hands to grow some branches of your tree. And you might sway in the wind. Feel yourself rooted into the earth through your foot. Spread your toes nice and wide to have really strong roots. And then slow and with control, turn your knee back forward and set it down gently. And then you can shake up. And we did that on one side of our bodies, so we want to do it on the other side also. So now we're going to be a tree one more time. And turn your other foot, so those toes are pointed to the ground. Put your hands on your hip bones. Make sure they stay facing forward. Turn your knee out. And then you might move it onto your leg. So the sole of your foot is on the inside of your leg. And once you have your balance, you can go ahead and grow some branches out very big. Spread your fingers wide like they're leaves, trying to absorb all of the sunlight that they can. And feel your foot rooted oh so strongly into the earth. And then slow and with control, turning your knee back forward, setting your foot down, and then letting your branches come down. Then we can come back down to a seat. Crisscross applesauce. And once again, we're going to find that Bu Mudra, so our earth gesture. So putting our pointer and middle fingers straight, and our ring and pinky fingers touching our thumbs. And we're going to point our fingers down to the earth. And feel like we are part of the earth, like we are a mountain rising up out of the ground. And say thank you to the earth for giving us so many things. And then I will say thank you to you for joining me for this class today. Namaste.